The price of the dollar was linked to gold, but in 1971 President Nixon abandoned the gold standard and therefore creating fiat money. And in this video I'm going to explain why it happened, what advantages it has and what disadvantages it has. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, what is the gold standard? So for example, in 1943 you could buy an ounce of gold for $20, and that meant that now the currency had stability because it was linked to gold, and it meant that every unit of currency could be exchanged for gold, and governments had gold reserves to back this money in the circulation. And it started to become popular in the 19th century in the Industrial Revolution. That's when the country started to adopt it. But why was it abandoned? It seems like a pretty good idea. And the first reason is because there was a limited money supply. So the value of the dollar was linked to the gold, and they couldn't just print like infinite money. So that halted the economic expansions and the economic instability, because the rigid money supply made it more difficult to get out of these depressions and crises. For example, in the Great Depression, the gold supply made it harder to, get out of the Great Depression and get back to normal life because of this rigid money supply. It made the recovery even harder. Also, gold reserves were unevenly distributed, so countries that had the most gold, like the US, had a huge advantage compared to the other countries. And as global trade expanded, the gold standard couldn't handle the increasing complexity, and the countries really just needed more flexibility in printing money and managing the inflation, because the gold reserve didn't really give them that much freedom to do whatever they like. So after the World War II, the dollar became the reserve currency, and every other currency was linked to the dollar, and the dollar was linked to gold. But in 1931, President Nixon abandoned the gold standard and created fiat money. So what we use today is the fiat money. So that means that people trust in the government, not in gold. And also this fiat money gave the countries more flexibility over their financial policies, and the currency value was now linked to demand and supply, not the price of gold. So the positives of the gold standard is managing inflation, because they can just print infinite money, and it's backed by gold, which is really valuable. So it creates trust in the value of the currency. But on the other side, it can slow down the economic growth and make recovering from crises and bad events more difficult. So in conclusion, although the gold standard created a lot of stability, it couldn't keep up with the demands of the modern economies. Therefore, it was abandoned. So I hope you got a better understanding of why it happened, and if you would like to see more finance videos like this, then you can subscribe and also join my free finance community. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.